Hi there, Joe Curtis here today, and what I'm going to talk to you about is something that is extremely important when it comes to online marketing, because 80% of success is down to your mindset and 20% of success is down to your strategy. So you can have the best strategy in the world, but if you've got the wrong mindset, you're not going to succeed long term, because you just don't have the right mindset. You're not going to follow it through. You're going to give up if you encounter any obstacles, that kind of thing. So you really do need the right mindset to succeed online. And I see a lot of people who come into this industry and they've got the wrong type of mindset. It's not their fault, because maybe they've been in a job all their lives. You know, they've gone to school, they've gone through that process of having it in their mind that, you know, go get a job when you leave school, work for somebody else, and it's ingrained in your subconscious. So it's not something that's your fault as such. It's just something that is. But you've got to change that if you want to succeed long term. And first of all, I'm going to talk about the two types of mindsets that there are when it comes to work and business. And then I'm going to talk about which one you need when it comes to making money online. And I'm going to talk to you about some of the things that you can do in your online business that's going to move you forward, that's going to progress you forward. So firstly, the two mindsets there are is the employee mindset and the entrepreneur mindset. So some of the things, like with the employee mindset, is when it comes to work and getting tasks done, you know, if you work for an employer, you're going to probably do just enough to not get fired. You only do the work because it pays the bills. You've got no real passion or admiration for what you're doing. You don't really enjoy it. Now, obviously, there's going to be exceptions. Obviously, if you do love your job, then you're probably going to do it to the best of your ability because you enjoy doing it. Yeah. So, but I'm talking about the rule, not the exception. 95% of people who are an employee, they do just enough to not get fired. They don't really give it any passion or any serious effort because they don't like what they're doing. And when it comes to serious effort, if you've got an employee mindset, you're going to be thinking like, I'm going to put in a bit extra effort so that my boss recognizes me, so my boss gives me a pay rise, so maybe I'll get promoted. That kind of mentality when it comes to serious effort. In terms of the support, you know, you expect your boss to give you everything. You expect your boss to tell you what to do. Maybe you like that, maybe you don't, but if you've got an employee mindset, then you're going to be waiting on someone else to give you all the steps. So there's no real initiative. You're just sort of, you want someone else to show you all the ropes, if you like. And the income is something that you expect to receive immediately. So this is a big one. This is, I believe, one of the biggest reasons that people give up on online marketing and give up on their ambitions, because they expect to make a quick buck. And, you know, I'm no different. I've had this mentality before, where I've joined a business and I expect to get paid by Friday. Yeah, I expect to get immediate results. And I had to work on that mindset and change it, because when it comes to online business, it's not immediate. So it's a long-term vision, a long-term strategy that can make you a serious amount of money, but there's a learning curve you have to go through. So just like a doctor, when they go to university and they study for 7 years to become a doctor before they even get paid. So it's that kind of mindset where you've got to realize that when you start and try and make money online, if you've not had any results before, you've never done anything like this, then there is a learning curve that you're going to have to go through, and you're going to have to study from successful people. You're going to have to study how to market online. You're going to have to study, you're going to have to go through training, you're going to have to be coachable. You're going to have to find a mentor, which is someone who has the results that you want, so that you can follow them. So take me, for example, I've got quite a few mentors who are making more money than I am, who are further along in the journey, and I follow them. I do what they do. I do the same daily activities that they do. And if you want something, just find someone that has that thing that you want and replicate them. So it doesn't matter what it is, you've got to find a mentor and follow them. And and this is another thing, it comes down to not reinventing the wheel. So a lot of people will join a business under someone who has the results they want, but when they join the business, they then do their own thing. They try and reinvent the wheel. They say, I'm going to do it my way. They get no results, or they get a lot less results than their sponsor. And they say, it doesn't work, it's a scam, or they change things up. So you're telling them you're giving them the steps, and they change it up and do their own thing, and they complain that it doesn't work. Well, you've got to follow to the T what someone is doing if they have the results that you want. So, and you've got to see it as long term. So everybody has their own experience level. Some people start off, let's say, more technical. They're more technical minded. They're more tech savvy. So they're going to be further along in the process, right? They've got a bit of a head start on someone that's never even switched a computer on in their life before. So everybody starts at their own starting position, and it's just like, someone might be more social. They might be more social, so that's another thing. If you're more extroverted, then that gives you a head start as well, I guess, because you're going to be more you're going to be able to connect with people better and connect with your mentors better. And especially, but I think the most important thing when it comes to the mindset is to not be so focused on the short term and see the long term vision. Be coachable, find a mentor who has what you want and do what they're doing. Don't reinvent the wheel, and you're then going to be making progress each day to get to where you want to be. So that's the employee mindset. And you don't want that if you're you want to move away from the employee mindset if you want to be a successful online marketer. Now, let's look at the entrepreneur mindset. So the entrepreneur mindset loves what they do. They put in passion into their work. They've got a daily strategy that they stick to. They follow a mentor, and they go along that path of doing the daily tasks needed to get to where they want to go. A serious effort is something that they do all the time. That comes down to loving. Not everybody has the entrepreneur mindset. Not everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. That's fine. But if you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to work for yourself and not for somebody else, and you want to make an income online, then you've got to do the daily activities and do it all the time. So be consistent. Don't miss days out. Do something consistently, and that consistency is what breeds a habit. So it creates a habit. So you've got to be consistent if you want to create that habit, and that habit is going to be what moves you forward every day from doing those daily activities. When it comes to the support, yes, if you're an entrepreneur, you have a mentor, you follow them, but you also got to have a certain level of initiative. You've got to be self-motivated. You've got to get up and do the activities, even when there's no boss to tell you what to do. So you've got to have that level of self-motivation, self-discipline, self-dedication, so that you can really move forward. Because if you've got the employee mindset and you're waiting for somebody else to tell you what to do, they're not going to tell you what to do. They're going to give you the steps, of course. Your mentor's going to give you the steps, but you've got to be the ones to do them. They're not going to be holding you accountable. They're not going to call you up and say, have you done this? Have you done this? Have you done this? Have you done this? They're not going to be your boss telling you that you're fired if you don't do it. So you've got to have that self-discipline, that self-dedication, but still have that initiative to do what must be done, but follow a mentor, follow someone who has what you have. or what you want, sorry. So when it comes to income, it's something that's to be earned later. So when it comes to making money online, especially, like any business, you've got to put in the effort, and at first you're going to be underpaid for what you're doing. You're going to be making less than if you were in a job working for somebody else. You're going to be earning less because you're planting the seeds, you're planting the tree. It's not going to be immediate. The tree's not going to grow overnight. You've got to plant the seeds today, nourish it, nurture it, so that over time, you're going to go from underpaid at the beginning while you're learning, while you're studying, just like a student of, you could say, you know, a doctor who's someone who's training to be a doctor. Do you think they're underpaid while they're doing their university degree, while they're learning, while they're studying? Of course they are. You know, while they're in that educational phase, of course they're going to be underpaid. In fact, most people who are at university are spending money to be at university and advance their education. They're not earning a 6-figure or 7-figure income, and they're not focused on that. They're not focused on that. They know that they've got to put in the years of study, the years of work, to become a doctor, so that they can then start earning a great income from it. So it's something to be earned later. So you start off underpaid, and then you're going to be paid appropriately for your work. So you're going to be putting in effort, and you're going to be getting paid. But then over time, you're going to be getting overpaid for the rest of your life. So, you know, it's just the best type of work you can do, really, is to work for yourself, educate, and move forward. And so I think that's something that trips a lot of people up when they come into this. They expect to earn immediately, and it just doesn't work like that. It just does not work like that. And you know, a lot of people, they've got the employee mindset, because that, especially in the beginning, they'll look at the amount of hours that they put into something, they'll look at the money they received, and they'll say it's not worth it, it doesn't work. You know, that's not the right mindset. That is an employee mindset. So you've got to have the entrepreneur mindset. I hope you found this valuable, this video. I will put the link to connect myself on Facebook in the description below the video. And feel free to check out the $10 coaching system, where we teach people exactly how to make money online. We give them the strategy, we give them the right mindsets. We go into a lot more of this kind of detail. And we teach people exactly how to market any business online and how to grow multiple income streams as well. So feel free to check that out. I hope you got value from that, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers for watching.